Sandy Bauer, and I'm not going to give my usual title because this has nothing to do with my other work. I'm here as a patriot, as a grassroots patriot, working hard to take back our country. I feel like the country's gone, if not leaving, you know?
Right.
I'm here with two gentlemen. I have Ken Nelson to my left, Terence Mekoski to my right. And the reason that we're here tonight is Ken is running for 10th District
10th Congressional District Chair. Right.
Okay, so, and then, let's just go this way.
Okay.
I have known you for years. How many? I don't know. Let's just say 10. Okay. But I know of you.
Right.
And every time I've ever seen you anywhere, I always thought, what a nice man. He's a very nice man. Obviously a patriot. Obviously involved in all the grassroots stuff. And much more, I'm sure, much more committed than even I am. Because I can't attend a lot of things with all the other things that I do in the community.
Right.
So, but every single time I go, you're there.
Right.
Okay. And now you're running for this office.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I got to vote. And I need more than just you're a nice guy.
Right.
So I'm going to hold that. And then I'm going to go to Terry. So Terry, I've met Terry like 3 years ago. And what did you run for first? Was it?
I ran for sheriff. I retired from the Oakland County Sheriff's Office after leaving on there as deputy commander, and I lived in Macomb County since I left Detroit as a Detroit police officer 35 years ago. And I figured that my calling was to come to Macomb County and run for sheriff.
Yeah. So I met you then when you were campaigning.
Correct.
I was wowed. I was wowed by you. I was wowed by your wife. I've sat down, early on, you know, had this conversation like, who are you and why should I support you? And I know, you know, I attended your events and wrote checks and you know, gave you the bragging rights all over town every chance I could. And I know your heart. Now, you know, 3 years later, you know, you've become more personal friends.
Correct.
I mean,
Absolutely.
You know, you've been to my house.
Good friends.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I love you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. So the point of saying that and the reason that you're here is that I don't really know Ken. I really know you. Okay? And so, you know, tell me why you would endorse Ken or
I am backing Ken and Barb wholeheartedly. I told everybody and anybody, I don't endorse anybody. I've had many people ask me for my endorsements, and we never asked for endorsements for anybody in any of our campaigns. I don't believe in them. I believe that they're a trap by political candidates. It's a trap to get them to
control.
Control, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because nobody gives nobody nothing for free in this world, and I just don't like the fact that when we look at our endorsements and who gives these endorsements, they're looking for something in the future.
Yeah.
And I'll tell anybody, I'll tell you who I'm going to vote for. I'll tell you who I trust, who I know. Barb and Ken have been around since I've got into this realm with the sheriff's race, with the Senate race, with our you know, becoming a state representative. And even now we've jumped into to run for vice chair for the Michigan GOP coalition, because we've had the opportunity to work with all these people, even the different fractions of the Republican Party. I've had no problems with both, you know, the sides. Everybody has been a friend to me in my campaigns, and I've been blessed that way. So all I can do is go by what I know and give you my personal word. I don't give endorsements, but and I've talked to the young man who's also running for this position. I just don't know him well enough, but I know Ken and I know Barb, and I know that they're great patriots. They're trustworthy. The last 4 or 5 years I've been in this small circle of political world here in Macomb County, they haven't stepped out of place the same way I say that about
No double speak.
Mark and Lisa. They don't talk out of both sides of their face.
Right.
If they say something, it's the truth. And we need a good conservative Christian leaders, and I can honestly say I know Ken and Barbara are those people.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, like I said, I see you everywhere, but I don't know you.
Right.
So convince me why, because I'm going to say this. I saw your opponent, I guess is what you call it, right? Your opponent.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably half your age.
Mm-hmm.
He's cute as a button. And he is presented very well. And you spoke that same night, and honestly, he spoke more eloquently than you. And with that said, I want you to understand, I'm not looking for some smooth talking, whatever. And I'm not accusing him of having that guy. I don't know that guy, but he presented well.
Good.
I know you.
Right.
I'm not looking for the polished, canned, whatever. I want real deal from the heart. Tell me why I would want to support you over your opposition.
I would love to. I think that, first of all, I have experience in politics, okay? In the late 90s, I was a city councilman in the city of Sterling Heights for 2 terms. And then I got off with my business a little bit too much and came back again. And last year I was an opponent of the mayor of Sterling Heights for mayor's position. And there were a lot of things that happened in that election that kind of mirror what happened in the midterm elections in 22.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to get further involved in the Republican Party. I have been a conservative all my life. As far as being in the party, it's been a number of years that I've belonged to the Republican Party here in Macomb, and they're the ones that got me going. I believe in the words that come out of Mark Thornton.
I do too, isn't he awesome?
Yeah.
He's really proven himself to me. I challenged him. I nose to nose challenged him in the beginning when I was hard on him and Lisa.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, they've proven
They're trying
their
through,
worth.
and that's why people ask
Absolutely.
me why I back those folks, and those folks have not missed a step in 4 years that I've known them. I haven't once caught them, and I'm pretty
Right.
good. I used to, that's what I did for a living.
Right.
I catch you if you're slipping, and they're good Christian, God-fearing patriots that are for the party. They're for the people.
and the grassroots
Yes.
part of it.
Right.
That's
Right.
not that establishment.
Right.
That's just the uniparty.
Right.
Right. The
That's
nasty part of politics. It's
Exactly,
not what
exactly.
we want.
And then I ran into the situation that has been going on for the last 2 years, this rogue party, Macomb County Party, and what they were doing to misrepresent our party. It just got my ire, and it just said, I got to do something.
got the fire burning again, eh?
I've got to step in, and still today we're getting things. But the 10th congressional district is different than Macomb County. Our main concern is keeping a Republican in Congress. Right now, we were lucky enough to have John James elected, and we want to make sure that we keep it Republican. It's been 51 years since a Republican has sat in that position. So we want to do everything we can for John James, and also support the efforts of Macomb County
Right.
Republican Party in finding the local people that want to run for school board, for city councils, we want
To
to
take our country back.
and take our country back, because we're in sad shape right now.
Right.
And everything that we're trying to build, the thing with John James, with the 10th district just now is calling itself the 10th district. It's been a false facade on what it was.
It's like a smoke and mirror shell game. It was on first.
Redistricting was a joke.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a joke, and all it did was we have always been a 9th and 10th district, Macomb County. We supported both of them, and all they did in redistricting was just go like this. They just swapped them.
Flipped them out.
They just flipped them, and it caused confusion. What does the other party do to keep everybody in the dark? They cause confusion. And so that continued on with the 10th district under their leadership, and it's still happening today. We have a convention coming up that is going to make a decision whether we go back to Republican principles and not worry about the uniparty that we hear so much about. And Terry knows a lot about that.
Yeah.
But
It's there.
yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
I mean, I too have seen it firsthand, and I have a lot of, political connections in Macomb and Oakland County on both sides of the aisle, because of my charity work. I kind of have to remain Switzerland, if you will.
Sure.
But I'm entitled to my personal
Right.
values and opinions, and I've witnessed it all firsthand, and anybody who thinks that's not real needs to wake up, and very, very quick.
Well,
You know?
we have to realize that it's a reality. There's a lot of good people in Washington. Don't get me
Right.
in Washington and in Lansing. We'll speak to Lansing. I went up there for a year, and I held office there, and I spoke with these folks, and I did caucus with them, and I voted with them. I'm not saying these people are all bad or it's all a uniparty. What it is though you have certain positions that influence other positions, and if you don't have a strong personality, if you don't have a strong leader, you can very easily worry about your next job or where your next political appointment is coming from.
Right.
To me, term limits I think are a bad idea. I think term limits should be every election cycle. We should know our politicians and watch them, and every 2 or 4 years if they're up for election, if they're not doing a job, we need to get rid of them. We can't worry about that, because if you get a good person
you wanna
in there,
squeeze 'em out?
then we get rid of them.
Yeah.
And that also speaks to Ken and who he associates himself with, and who his running mate is, Barb Zimmer. You don't get more conservative, Christian, patriotic than Barb. And anybody that knows Barb loves Barb, and they know that her and Ken are a great team. They bring more experience, I think, than any of our chairs in Michigan. And I just think that we're foolish not to utilize their experience, their wisdom, and their morality and their age, and what they have to offer to the Republican Party.
And I will say this. I mean, you're probably a minute older than me, and I'm probably a couple minutes older than you. But we're still in that same era. You know what I mean? Of maturity, if you will. And even though we hear a lot about we need the youth taking over leadership, and we got to get rid of these what. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that when it comes to candidates like you guys, it's I don't know how to explain it. The young kid that's your opponent, okay? He's a young guy. He's got his whole life ahead of him, and I know when I was young and hungry, you know what I mean. I had opportunities that I could have very easily compromised my moral standards to get ahead. And I a single mom trying to raise 2 kids with no education, if you will. And
that's part of my platform is everybody now in the Republican Party is talking about how much money we have to raise in order to get our word out. Well, there has to be more than one channel to success. Yes, we have to raise money. We do have to get our word out, but we also have to have a better communication channel for success.
you have to have a message that people want to hear.
That's exactly
Right?
That's exactly right. And then the third is God. God's going to put us where we need to be put, and He can see what's going on.
Amen.
So, there's 3 parts to this, and what the Republican Party has to do. And I hope to be, and so does Barb, want to be able to try to help the structure of what we are. We have to put that structure back together. We were just told by the former 10th District Chair that, they're going to shut down their 9th District website that they've been supporting John James on, and they're going to shut down this and shut down that. They haven't, redistricting was last May. They haven't done anything as a 10th district for John James since last May. They funneled everything through the supposed other rogue party.
So what we're saying is kind of as a trickery kind
Gonna
of
bring
thing.
everybody back together.
Gotcha.
Bring everybody back together, and that's our primary goal.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna find out on Friday night the direction of the 10th district
And that's
And-
at
at the convention in Lansing,
Okay.
and looking forward to that. I really am, and hopefully we'll be able to set a new direction as of Saturday morning, because we'll know the results of who's going to be the next district chair and the vice chair and the secretary and everything that we can now put together.
So, before we wind down, any final thoughts, anything that we didn't touch that you would want to?
No, I would ask that any of the delegates out there support Ken Nelson and Barb Zinner for the 10th District Chair and Co-Chair. And I vow to you that I will listen first, because I have to listen to my bosses, who are the precinct delegates that are out there.
Right.
I'll listen first, I'll lead, and I'll act. And that's all I can do, and I vow to do that.
Fearless scrapper.
Yes, I am.
Because
Yes, I am.
that's what it takes.
Don't,
Absolutely.
In politics today, I'm telling you, you have to be a fearless scrapper and be able to stand right there in their face and say, hell no, not on my watch.
and that's exactly what we're all about.
Yeah, I've seen. Oh, that's why I'm part of this whole grassroots thing. That's
Yes.
all I've seen.
Yes.
You know.
And we have great people involved in our grassroots people. Macomb County is I think, is known for across the country for our grassroots
Yes, they are.
folks. And they're the best people in the world. They are the true patriotic Republican Party, conservative Christians that are going to get it done for you. In closing, I'd just like to reiterate for Ken Nelson and Barb Zinner, two of the best people I know. I think my people perish for lack of knowledge. The Bible says that. Get to know these folks before, to our delegates, get to know these folks before election day. These are also, like Ken mentioned, it's not a paid position. So he's doing this out of the goodness of his heart, which goes a long way to show you.
The labor of love.
It's a labor of love and why he's doing it.
I'm retired now,
Right.
and I have the time to do this.
Right.
Correct.
You know, you have to have a purpose when you retire.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you wither away. So,
And right now, I'm retired as well since leaving office, and that's why I decided there's another volunteer position to step up. I was asked to run for the vice coalition chair with the MIGOP. There was only one name that was there. It's a young man who I wanted to give our delegates an option. The coalition vice chair works with your seniors, your business owners, your unions, just the whole gamut of people that need to come back to the Macomb County Party. I believe I got the personality, the knowledge, and the background to bring these folks back to our party and to get them to donate and to get them to back the right people. So we ask for your votes. God bless each and every one of you and your families. We hope to see all the delegates Friday and Saturday at the convention.
And for those that happen to watch this video on social media, obviously, you know, there's select few delegates in the whole scope of things.
right.
You know, the things that we're talking about are important to each and every one of us. You know, if you breathe this air, you are in the greatest country in the world, even though
Absolutely.
we're losing ground, and everybody needs to wake up and stand up. And I'm not saying you all have to think like I think, but find your voice and at least discuss it, and let's meet so we can meet on common ground and stand together and fight against this evil that's stealing our.
We're going to grow the Republican Party here in Macomb, and in Rochester and Rochester Hills. We're going to grow based on how we lead.
Yeah.
So, and that's
Amen.
that's what it's all about.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you guys for all you do.
And
Seriously.
let's remember, I always like to close by saying that I cheated. I went to the back of the book. We win. We got to be Christian warriors. We got to be Christian soldiers. The best is yet to come. I've got 4 kids and 12 grandbabies, like I mentioned. I'm looking for them to have a great future, as well as everybody and all of us in the future.
Anything that we need to do well, the voting is on Friday. You don't
The
have.
voting for the district is on Friday.
Do you need, campaign funds? You need donors? Is there no
No,
message
no.
of where to, okay.
There isn't a message. We've been trying to get our word out for about the last 2 or 3 months.
Mhm.
And if they don't have it now, we just have to have people come back together and be with one team.
Right.
And hopefully that's what I
I've seen the
hope
other
for.
team. I don't like the other team.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I'm not going to name names. You know
Yeah.
who you are. I know, and you know that I know who you are. You know I know who you are. And that's why, anyway, I'm happy to be here with you guys. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
Terry, always thank you for,
Thank you.
all that you do. And we will have to reconvene this again. I think we should do this, I don't want to say regularly, but at least semi-regular. When we have something to say, this is what we should do. Bring it here.
I like
And
it.
let's share it.
Yes.
Let's roundtable it.
People, the delegates, the voters need to know, and we need to.
And I want to see what the comments are going to be.
Absolutely.
Bring the comments.
Right.
You know.
Bring the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Questions,
Call.
comments.
Yes.
Exactly. All right. Got it,
Okay.
guys.
All right.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Good
God
luck.
bless you guys.
Good luck.
God bless everybody.
Oh, hands.
I know.